I think I'd start with the fact that we have 500 million people across 3 democracies, and they all fundamentally want to achieve the same thing: a better thing for their families, a better thing for life for their children, a chance for opportunity, and the 3 countries working more closely together can create that in a global context. So what we need to see is how, through our work together, from energy to education to trade to investment, we can strengthen the position of all 3 countries and frankly have a approach that has the whole be greater than the sum of its parts. I mean, the transformation across centuries of these countries have led to a huge sense of intermixing, shared cultures. Not one culture, they're each respectable of their own separate cultures, but that's something that I think there's a potential to develop further. Our report focuses on 4 areas. First, energy, where you've had a huge innovation and development in the United States and Canada, and a great potential in Mexico because of the constitutional and then the legislative reforms, which can lower energy costs for a wide variety of businesses, for consumers, improve energy security. But we need to do things related to infrastructure, pipeline, electricity grids, to try to make sure that we all maximize the benefit of that. Then secondly, we talk about our overall competitiveness to develop a common platform for design, production, service sector, and there we have to work on border issues, making it easier for people and goods to cross borders in a timely fashion, infrastructure developments, sometimes the follow-through on NAFTA. For example, the U.S. has not been able to follow through on trucking rules that were agreed in NAFTA, and that's had a bad environmental effect and slowed down progress across the border. Third, issues of common security interest. And here, obviously, there's issues of assisting Mexico as it chooses with rule of law and some of the broader challenges that it faces in making sure that people feel safe, but also the commonalities of interest in the future. Cybersecurity questions, dealing with challenges in Central America, dealing with issues of the Arctic. And over time, I think these 3 countries will see greater commonality in terms of how they fit in the rest of the world. And fourth, finally, the question of a broader community. This starts with people, and obviously much of the focus is on immigration, but we try to look more broadly. We try to look to issues of educational systems, try to look at the possibilities of worker mobility at high end and low end, and realize that the 500 million people of North America are a demographic asset compared to other economies in China, Japan, Europe, Russia that are actually shrinking. But how do we make sure that people can operate to their full potential? So the report goes into a series of specifics, but the big idea is the notion that we need to look at North America in a global context, not just vis-a-vis one another. And at the same time, we need to recognize that these 3 countries are very sensitive to their sovereignty and independence. So one needs to deepen integration while being respectful of sovereignty. That's different than a model of the European Union,